educator, ecologist, herbalist, and she'll be presenting ethics, or the ethics of relation. Come on up here, Lucia. Lucia.
I feel like that part of the stack is like really shiny.
Pawpaw? Hiya, can you hear me? Give me a big smile if you can hear me. All right, I can speak louder. Thank you, Devon, that was beautiful. Thank you, John, that was very beautiful. And thank you to everyone making Pawpaw Festival so cool. I'm Lucia Hawkins. Do you see that orange tent down over there? You can come find me there. It's on this side. I'm Meiraki Pharmacy. I am a land steward, a community herbalist, and delighted to be here with you today. You can also visit MeirakiPharmacy.com. Just come on down to that orange tent. If anything I say today interests you, please do come find me. We're always getting into some very good trouble, and no one does anything alone. One thing about me I want to share with you, it's real important to me to be conscious of my own assumptions and biases. I look around today and I have suspicions. I suspect you, oh so many of you, here for oh so many different reasons. Might those reasons be sprouting from a common ground? If you trace your reason down the stems and to the root, I suspect that root is love. Love for the pawpaw, love for our Mother Earth, love for the generous plant teachers, and really yummy food. I bet you love learning. And I'd wager you're here today because you share another bias with me. I have a bias that there is still plenty of time, folks, for us to get together, to get it together. Maybe we can reorient in place and space, learning, working, caring together to reinforce the knowledge you carry in your bones. There is another way possible. Something other than the extraction, the toxicity, the degeneration, and all sorts of places on the spectrum of violence are not inevitable. It doesn't have to be this way. You are seeking and choosing something different, something regenerative, something cooperative, something you can trust. Maybe you too have pondered that culture comes directly from our relationships with land. And I don't mean ownership, I mean stewardship, the rooting deeply in place and space. To own is to be responsible, to be present to, something like an embodiment of love. You may know we're gathered here at autumn equinox, a time of celebration. Everything is built upon all that has come before. This time of season also celebrates something that we call Virgo energy. It helps teach us about how we embody our love and compassion, how we give material form to the always present undercurrent of sacred interdependence and connection. I think you know what I mean, even if you use a different dialect. I bet again you're here because you want to cultivate the conditions for life to thrive, another way of naming love. How many times have I said love already, Devon? Have you kept track? It's okay. At least 13. Did you know we were going to talk about love today? We are. Spoiler alert. That's what we're talking about. What is love? What does love look like? What does love, ecological, interdependent, devoted, dedicated, and dreaming our desires for decreasing the suck and increasing the rad? Take a brief moment now. Allow me the great honor to speak with you. Maybe give you something to chew on, deconstruct, integrate, and when my time is up, don't forget, make a lot of noise for all the people who make things like this, getting together in community, happen. So what is love? Ponder, think about it. Bell Hooks describes love as a combination of care, commitment, knowledge, responsibility, respect, and trust. For me, I found the greatest love through immersion with land, plants, and the more than human kin. That love saved my life. Land stewardship and community herbalism is what I owe for the ever-present gift of nourishment. What is herbalism? Leila Fengali tells us herbalism is land-centered therapies that emerge from generations of intimate relationship with place and practice. She goes on to say it's impossible to engage with the cultural legacies without confronting the ways our sovereign relationships with land and lineage have been interrupted. I add that herbal practice must be inherently radical, as in the art and science of working with plants and kins and elders, as it disrupts cycles of disconnection, exploitation, extraction, hierarchy, and violence. Ecologically centered relation ethics is love. It is care for all people and for all land, because we are frail and easily coerced when we are unrooted. Care as in healthcare is a human right. Care as currency, given and taken and exchanged and replenished. The accounts must be balanced. Care is kindness, generosity, consent, respecting sovereignty. Care is appreciation for any form of life simply because it is alive. It is kin. It is caring for land regardless of deeds. Care is presence, attention, acceptance, curiosity. Care is everybody eats. I thought that would get a clap. That's okay. We got more. Thank you for being here. Herbalism and ecological relation is commitment to always learning, which means we must listen, imagine, ponder, empathize, sit with it, ask questions. Commitment to accepting there is tension, disagreement, even conflict, and it's not always appropriate to just leave. Commitment is giving the time required to really experience someone or something. The thousands of years of ecological relations in herbalism can never be learned in one class or one book or with one person. That would be boring. Love is commitment to honoring life and welcoming the plants to speak for themselves, never reducing our plant ancestors to, what is it good for? Is that good? Is that bad? What is it? Sorry. I'm not sorry. Love is commitment to critical thought as much as intuition. Commit to knowing yourself, to prevention and repair, to doing no harm. Commit to putting theories into practice right where you are. We dedicate our lives to being enchanted and mutually empowered in shared responsibility. Love is knowledge. Herbalism and land-centered therapies is knowledge. Knowing that we must directly experience, be present, repeatedly integrating our observations, intuition, instinct, intellect, and experiences. Hundreds of thousands of years of coevolution, not just with plants, but with all that has ever come before. Knowledge leads to wisdom, which requires experience. We know there's no trend, no new age, no woo-woo, no way we will perpetuate the appropriation, discreditation, fetishization, reduction, or erasure of indigenous wisdoms, nature, and our more than human kin. Cool, is that for this? Awesome. Observe patterns, not just for wisdom, but to increase your abilities to respond. Learn to identify the traps and provide the antidote together. Know that you can starve the harm and feed the care simultaneously. Did you know that the words freedom and friend, historically throughout time and space, have meant the same thing? They both mean love. They both mean shared power that grows. That's what freedom means. Knowing we are nature and in service to all our relations, we are methodical in our process of repair. To be ecological is to be responsible. Learning all the names of the plants and how they feel and taste and smell and dance in the wind and lay dormant and return. It's decentering the human lens. Being responsible means being able to respond to what is asked of each and every one of us, to return to the teachings of the land, to repair, to prevent, to steward place and space, not because we own, but because we owe. Responsibility is learning in community. Isn't this fun? It's with the culture and wisdom keepers, upholding traditions and ethical standards of practice, because that is what we have always done in every community forever. Responsibility is discernment and learning in community. Did I mention that yet? Responsibility is radical. Radical as in going to the source, getting to the root. Responsibility is considering potential impacts of our choices, interventions, and methods. Responsibility is reducing harm and increasing vitality across all the kingdoms of life. It's accountability and conflict resolution. Yuck, we gotta do it. Cooperating and decreasing how and where we are complicit in the violence. Responsibility is shifting power and resources to those most vulnerable. Responsibility is materially supporting that and those who hold the center, educating, providing immense labors of care work, the people and processes of seed and food sovereignty. You're doing great. There's 2 more. Herbalism is respect. Plants are sentient, living, breathing elder kin. They're our friends, they're our teachers, they're our family. Respect is honoring sovereignty, agency. It's respecting that all affects all. It's celebrating the diversity of life. It's now that we know through experience that one of the greatest measures of the strength and safety of any community is in its diversity. Respect is following the long-standing guidelines for wildcrafting and foraging, always thinking of all the others and the next seasons. Respect is never taking more than you need and always sharing with others. It's listening to a being when they describe their experience and what they need. Living ecologically is trust, that our agency and collectivism are the same path. It is trusting the plants when they say no and when they say yes. Trust your body and its abilities to heal, to communicate, to adapt, and trust yourself when it says no and when it says yes. Trust that the entire cosmos is co-conspiring for our greatness. When people keep showing and telling you who they are, trust it. Trust that any system built on violence can never be sustained indefinitely, and your participation in its collapse is your birthright. Trust that those systems feed on disconnection, so everywhere you repair, you are doing the work of healing and transforming and returning to our original nature. Trust kids. Believe survivors. The truth is, it's always time to get in there. Trust that we are waiting for you to bring your unique, individual, totally weird, I love to see it. Bring it into the collective. Each and every one of us shaking the foundations of systems of harm while co-creating alternatives to the destruction. Trust the urgency of polycrisis and triage care. We don't always have the luxury of time, but you can trust the seeds and trust the terrain. Love requires surrender, and surrender requires trust. Where's my last page? Here we are. We got it. We made it. You're doing great. Thank you so much. Trust your suspicions that we may have so many solutions for oh so much that ails far too many. Trust that centering relations with nature as these living, sentient, sacred life forms repairs and reconfigures our orientation to wealth, abundance, safety, belonging, community, and therefore repairs trust. This protects respect. It restores responsibility. It carries knowledge and wisdom. It celebrates commitment, and it replenishes care. Herbal traditions are the original forms of healthcare for thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of years across all the places where all the people with all the plants, and is still practiced by 80% of the world. If your herbal practices are not accessible, informed, rooted, it's just cosplay. Herbalism is healthcare for all people, plants, and practices, human and more than human rights. Healthcare is all are housed, everyone eats, no one is snatched off the streets. Healthcare is safety, not just of the individual, but for all. Herbal and ecological traditions have survived and thrived despite and through the fall of many an empire. Why? because it's always people taking care of people, because it is our inherent nature, because living ecologically is love. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you. Don't forget, we need you, we want you. Orange tent. I'm gonna go do a little dance and shake off some of this. Thank you for having me. Thank you for sharing yourself and time and attention with me. I can't wait to see you later. Okay, bye.